Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
One, two, test. One, two, test. One.
Hey, hey, hey.
That was in the 70s, wasn't it, John?
What's that?
Fat Albert?
Fat Albert? Yeah. Hey, we are live.
We were just testing the audio, but here we are in Franklinville, New Jersey on what is a beautiful Sunday morning. Hello, everybody. It's TCUFL action, a quadruple header of action here this morning and afternoon between the Delsea trip down to quote-unquote Delsea Drive, Route 47, to make their way to Franklinville for this matchup. And it should be a good one today. I'm Tom Wilkins with John Zaplensky. Howard Gaber taking care of the control. Looks like Glassboro won the toss, and they'll choose in the second.
Hey, how you doing?
Glassboro 8-0.
We're back.
All right, take two. Hello, everybody, and thanks for your patience as we had to deal with a few technical issues. Here for some TCUFL football. Game one of the quadruple header between the Glassboro Bulldogs and the Delsea Knights. Just joined us, Glassboro, after forcing a turnover on downs. They had the, I think the kid is number 8, who ended up getting the touchdown run. And it was like 48 yards.
48-yard touchdown run.
And then a pass for a 2-point conversion, and that's why it's 8-0.
Their only play. No, second play. Second play they scored. Second play he ran a nice counter for 48 yards.
I thought it was the opening play. But anyway, it's still 8-0 Glassboro, and I'm Tom Wilkins with John Zaplensky. Howard Gaber, of course, behind the controls here. Delsea with their second drive now. They got a first down on the first series here, and now they're faced with a 4th and 5. The ball spotted at the 44-yard line. Looks like they're going to go full house.
Yeah, they got that
inside handoff. I don't think it's going to come up to anything because Glassboro was ready. And for the second time in as many drives, Delsea will turn the ball over on down. So even though there's been a little bit of play, we've been able to see both teams, John. What have you think so far?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We didn't see too much from Glassboro on offense. They had 2 plays in, and then the running back number 8. He showed his speed. He cut a counter on the outside. It took it down, 48 yards. But for Delsea right now, they're using running power. They're staying inside the tackles. They're trying to look for them 3-4 yard gains. They had a couple different running backs right now running the ball, and they had a couple nice drives, but unsuccessful at this point right now to get the ball in the end zone.
Okay, here's a pitch out for Glassboro as nice cut a couple of tackles there, getting through a couple of tackles and getting about 3 to the 49. It looked like a lot of running for number 4. His name is Aston Bester, who was able to make that carry.
Yeah, it was a nice little carry. Yeah, right now you have Glassboro last week. They beat Rancocas Valley 21-0 for a victory to get them at 5-0, and then Delsea beat Centerville last week 28-0 to get them to a 2-3 record right now. So right now you got the Bulldogs are undefeated in their conference.
We'll actually give you we're going to give you the stats, full standings a little bit later here.
Change it up, things good.
Yes, indeed. Well, I was warned about that a couple of days ago.
Oh, cool. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, listen.
Didn't have to do my homework last night.
Oh, my goodness. Well, they're in the midfield stripe. Second, it looks like a long 6.
Yeah, they got that I formation. They got double tight.
And a late handoff, and it looks like a sweep left.
Whoa, big
what a
hit.
nice
99.
job. Oh, my goodness, what a hit. Colton Harris with a great tackle and forcing a 3-yard loss.
Now here, on that last drive when Delsea had the ball, he carried 6 defenders on his back for an 8-yard gain, it looked like. So you see, he's playing a little running back out there, and he just made a lights-out hit on defense.
And as we've actually hit quarter time here as they'll switch sides. But, John, to further discuss that last play, let's take a look actually at this freshman thing. Glassboro, a perfect 5-0.
Clayton Clippers 4-1.
I was like 4-10.
No, 4-1.
Oh, I see what it is. I got you. All right, so there are no draws. So Glassboro 5-0, Clayton 4-1, Woodstown and Pennsville 3-2, Delsea 2-3, and Pittsgrove 1-4.
Yeah, evened out.
And we actually had some. Pennsville had a 40-31 win over Clayton. That was last week. I mean, that was a lot of points. And the sophomore game that we did in Delsea had a ton of points by Pennsville in that sophomore
70
game.
Points, I think.
I think it was like
a couple high-scoring games last week. Yeah.
So
we got the scores going to come up down there.
Yeah, there you see the freshman standings, and now you can see the bar at the very top of the screen. That was last week's scores when we were in Clayton.
Yeah, Pennsville, Clayton. Great games. There was some good games. Yeah.
Well, look, wow, the juniors are 40-31. So I left and everyone started piling points.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to be at a game this week with no rain. We had every week has been rain.
Well, yesterday was dreadful, but looking at the weather, it looked like everything cleared out like 3 in the morning, and we knew that today was going to be finally good for weather.
Yeah, beautiful day out here.
I was actually worried about the grass conditions here at the beginning of the game, but it looks like everybody's holding up pretty good.
Glassboro's coming out in that double wing.
Oh, here's a good tackle.
Number 15 and 87, and on that tackle for the Knights.
And I think there's a flag down the near side of the field, which it's going to be a hold against Glassboro. So the question is, will they accept the penalty or decline it and make it 4th and 8? And knowing how explosive we've seen Glassboro become at the beginning of the game, it'll be an interesting decision by the Delsea coaches as to what to do.
There we go.
Well, you're right. They did refuse the penalty, so it'll be 4th and 8. And I'll tell you what, Delsea's defense doing a nice job on Glassboro since that opening play.
They both playing defensively sound right now. They're going back into that double wing.
Yeah, you usually see a lot of this in youth football.
I think we've seen it every week. One way or the other.
Everything's basic.
Yeah. Gonna
All
get on the outside.
This is a keeper, and let's see if he can get there.
He's gonna get close.
I think he might be a yard short.
He is a yard short.
A yard short. If he had leaned the other way, he may have had a chance, but instead he leaned out of bounds. So it looks like Glassboro turns the ball over on downs. A nice defensive stop by Delsea as they get the ball back. And Delsea doing a good job holding, especially in the run defense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come out with on this drive, their third drive of the game. Delsea held them off this last one,
and folks, the reason for our tardiness is because we had no signal at the beginning of the game. So, of course, the Wii Boost had to come out, and we had to do a couple other things. So,
Wii Boost,
thank you. Hey, thank you guys for your Thank you guys for your patience with that. And now
sometimes.
you've got the permission to tell your friends and everyone else about the TCUFL on the website or on HSG Network on YouTube. That's where we're broadcasting. So let everybody know. Here's a pitch out on 1st and 10, trying to cut outside.
Good defense.
Oh, he cut it too hard, and Glassboro was just waiting. It ends up being a couple-yard loss.
Yeah, great tackle by number 11 from Glassboro to break down and complete that tackle.
Caden Moore with the carry that time, and he just couldn't cut around. Ends up losing possibly 6 yards. Balls goes back to the 41-yard line. It forces a second and probably 15 coming up.
You got the Knights now on offense.
Oh, I'm.
Yeah, you had the wrong. Yeah, the wrong.
My apology. That would be Michael Pagan then.
Yeah, I was about to say no. I see the roster right here. I got single back.
We're
No,
still.
it was actually diamond package.
We're
Right up the middle. Nice run.
Oh, a nice run indeed.
down.
Going to about the 48-yard line. Gets most of the yardage back. It'll be like 3rd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, nice tackle by number 8 for Glassboro.
And I think what Delsea has done, they've exploited Glassboro's middle of the defense, and they've been taking it pretty much up the gut most of the time.
They're staying inside them tackles most of the game so far, and they're getting a lot of productive yards. They just a little short on that, last time.
And sometimes just running north and south is what you need to do. So after an 8-yard pickup, 3rd and 8, they're spotting the ball at the 48-yard line. Another handoff up the middle,
Nice,
and this time in a
positive
plus territory, another 4 yards maybe to the 48-yard line. So now,
Yeah, it was Cameron Ross with a nice tackle there.
all right, so it'll be 4th and 4 coming up, and obviously,
Are you guys gonna be up here for halftime? Yeah. Can I send whoever?
no, I'm sorry, we're just trying to figure out a couple of our names here on the rosters, but anyway, it's 4th and 4. Ball spotted at the 47 of Glassboro. I wonder if they'll try going up the gut one more time.
Staying real tight. A quick handoff right up the middle.
And he did, a
Right
first
to the
down
A-gap.
all the way down to the 42-yard line.
Number 8 on the carry.
That would be Tyler Ripchinsky.
Yeah, great carry. Big yards. It was right through the A-gap, right behind the center. Quick dive and great positive yardage.
And like I said, that might be the key to the success for Delsea today.
Yeah, small increments, looking, staying inside of tackles, power running, running downhill. The running backs, they're doing their assignments. The line are open in the holes. So, it's a good game so far.
And
Teams are evenly matched,
The way this is looking, it looks like a pretty even matchup here as well. All
Got
right.
that offset diamond package or, your offset eye. Big
Oh, the
tackle.
handoff didn't quite work out that time as
It's at 24 for the Bulldogs with a big
Ooh,
tackle. there.
Pagan took-
That is Frank Casaboon Jr.
well, actually, Pagan was the one who carried it. He took a huge hit in the backfield and is still shaken up.
Yeah, Mr. Casaboon Jr. got right through there and caused a lot of havoc on that play in the backfield.
Well, hopefully he'll be all right as they attend to him. So why don't we take a look at a replay of that hard hit? I mean,
Yeah, it was a real nice hit for this level, freshman level.
let's take a look as to what happened here. I mean, the success had gone so well up the middle, they decided to do it again. And when you go to the well one too many times, this ends up happening.
It might be middle linebacker coming down. I'm not sure. He went down, and that he did. He went in a 3-point stance. It looked like Casaboon was at linebacker and then got down in a stance and shot right through there.
I think he fell on his shoulder and might be shaken up because of it.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, based upon what I'm seeing
Might be
here,
a little ankle.
could be a little ankle issue. Hopefully he'll be all right and he'll be back in the game, but we'll see. But it ends up being a 4-yard loss back to the 45-yard line.
Got number 13 there at quarterback for the Knights is the shot caller right now.
That is correct. Cooper Simpson is the quarterback.
Yeah, he's doing a good job on defense, too.
Or the judge from Court Cam from Michigan. I don't know. Anyway, 2nd and 14. Well, for those of you who watch Court Cam on A&E. But anyway, 2nd and 14 from the 45-yard line. They go full house.
99 with the carry, cutting it in.
And getting maybe a yard or two. And we're talking about Colton Harris being the running back that time, forcing a 3rd and long here.
Jordan Soto on the tackle for the Bulldogs.
I mean, what do you see Glassboro doing now? Do you see them adjusting into that middle here?
Playing a little more aggressive. Coaches obviously telling them, hey, they're staying inside. I need my linebackers to stay home and fill them gaps. I need a little aggression from my defensive tackles. It's basic football at this level. You want to just get in the kids' heads and build their confidence. You could talk a game to these guys. You can see a formation and let them know at this age, hey, I think this guy's getting the ball. Give them a couple pointers from the sideline. They listen, But, just play a little more aggressive in the inside. Force them outside.
3rd and 13 Right now, ball to 44. They do go a closer
they're
full house
real-
here.
Yeah, real tight. It's hard to see.
Oh, and the handoff went.
Ooh,
He
good
ran into his
defense
own
again.
man, and the defense was right there waiting.
Yeah, 23 again. You know, Jordan Soto was the first in on that, I think. And then just a gang of tacklers came in there. You know, Preston Jenkins Green, and they were all in there. You know, just nowhere to go. Now you got a big fourth down. So they're playing a little bit more aggressive right now.
I think Glassboro made a couple in-game adjustments there, and I think it's sprouted some positivity there.
Yeah, like I said, when something's working and you close it down, now you're forcing them to come up with a game plan to, you know, let's go outside maybe, let's figure something out. They're a little too close of an alignment right now, the way they're penetrating that line of scrimmage. So see if they make that adjustment. It's a big fourth down right now. So
well, they need to get 14 to get to the line again. That's a little bit of a challenge, but one never knows in this league.
Looks like they're going to try to go outside. Now he cuts it in.
And Glassboro waiting again. The ball came out. It didn't matter anyway. Glassboro's going to get it on downs. And Glassboro recovered a fumble anyway.
Yeah, that was number 4 on the fumble recovery. We got Ashton Bester with a fumble recovery.
So about 3:44 left till halftime. We are kind of shielded from the view of the clock, but we can tell you it's 3:44 till halftime. Anyway, we noticed there were a couple of people who have already commented on the HSG Network feed, so make sure you tell your friends about it. Please be welcome. Please, you're welcome to comment on the game or what have you, and root your kids on. Even if you can't make it to the field here in Franklinville, definitely. Obviously, John
I
and
got lost, and I played here before.
Listen, John and I both took the wrong entrance. Thankfully, we ran into each other. It's like, where do we go? That's a long walk to get around the field here.
Got that I formation for the Bulldogs coming in with a wing.
Here's a handoff bouncing right.
He's trying to get to that outside.
He did. And he'll get about 8 yards back into plus territory. They're going to say his knee is down at the 48-yard line, so you're looking probably a 7-yard pickup.
2 nice tackles by 55 and number 8 for the Knights, you know, coming in there.
Ripchimsky and Wilmington Higginbotham.
Yeah, nice.
That's it. I mean, sometimes you don't know what names you're going to get here, but you take a look and you're like, okay.
Practice your speech on these rosters.
No, trust me.
I found out I have a lisp sometimes and some other stuff. My speech, I need speech therapy with these last names.
I think I'm even worse with that if I do it on the fly. All right, so as they reset, 2nd and 3. They're going to get the ball to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, they're staying in that I package. Running back leaning a little bit in the front. He might want to.
Okay.
Okay, good. He was leaning that way.
Handoff and now sweeping right.
That
99
again. With a
yes,
big tackle.
Colton Harris with the stop, maybe about a 2-yard pickup, but I'll tell you, Colton's been all over the field here in this first
pound
half.
for pound. He's not the biggest guy out there.
And now we got Glassboro timeout.
He's hitting like a brick.
So let's take a break here late in the first half. A little over 2 minutes left. Glassboro leads 8-0. We'll be back in a moment.
One of the best reasons to visit Williamstown is to experience Bleachers 322 Tavern. We offer a great time for people everywhere, and our delicious wings is the reason people keep coming back. On Wednesday, we have karaoke night with DJ Rob, including 75-cent wings and $2.50 Miller Lite bottles. Our R&B night along with karaoke featuring Big Al Entertainment is on Fridays, and Saturday has music by DJ Sturl with a 30 and older crowd, including a strict dress code that will be enforced. Each night we have food and drink specials with a private room available for parties of all kinds. If you'd like to ask us some questions or make a reservation, call us at 609-481-2043.
All right, we are back here in Franklinville, New Jersey, here for TCUFL action. Late in the second quarter, and Glassboro now at a 3rd and 2. The ball spot at the 47-yard line. Let's see how they come across after this timeout. I don't know what they're talking about, but I think they're trying to come up with a little bit of misdirection. That's how Glassboro got that first score.
Looks like he's in shotgun. Yeah, the quarterback. That is the quarterback back. Wait a minute. There he goes. He got his man in motion. He's in shotgun. There goes that.
And there's a handoff, and
Wow.
he
Whoa.
tried to slip out of
Number
a
8.
tackle,
Number
but
8.
there is Tyler Ripchinsky who read it perfectly.
Ashton Bester was the running back on that, and defensively, that was pretty impressive.
I mean, considering, he got stars on the helmet. I don't know if it was from the play or his big play, but John, what's that about?
Yeah, he's got a word. Listen, he played lights out, read that play, made a great tackle, shot that gap to get in there. And, I mean, if you look at the helmets, I just noticed they do have stars on their helmets, and his helmet is covered. So, obviously, when you come here, you tell the kids, look for the kid with the star, stay away from him.
Well, I guess,
game changer.
shall we say those are
You're giving it away.
inverted Ohio State colors, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Well, it could be Rutgers Knights colors, too.
Yeah, it's Rutgers. Definitely Rutgers. This ain't Ohio State territory.
Well, I'm only going by the stickers. Well, anyway, on fourth down.
They do the stickers at the Buckeye.
I got you. But anyway, on fourth down, there was a false start against Glassboro, so I think it's going to back up 5 yards here.
Yeah, way to play stand up on defense for the Knights right now. You know, they made them adjustments. You know, that first 48, and we had that 48-yard touchdown in the beginning of the game, and, you know, both teams been playing very sound on defense right now and, you know, controlling the factor of, you know, preventing the end zones for each other. But great defensive game right now.
Okay, so after it was 3rd and 2, all of a sudden you got a 5-yard loss, now a 5-yard penalty for a false start. Now you went from 3rd and 2 to a 4th and 12.
I see them, you know, we seen that touchdown, and, you know, I see them looking for the outside. I see it coming this way. I don't see them running to the short side. So we shall see. My prediction, you know, they do like to pass. They did play one pass. Could we see a pass right now? Could be.
We'll find out. Well, we're coming up to 30 seconds left in the first half. See what happens on this 4th down play.
There's the pass.
Rolling back the pass. He's got time. There's a flag down. The pass
Intercepted.
Is it intercepted?
99 again.
Yes, it is. That is
99.
Colton Harris with the grab.
Yo, this kid is all over the game.
And the interception's going to count because there was an illegal man downfield against Glassboro. Obviously, that's going to be declined, so it'll be Delsea ball after the turnover.
He's what can he do? We're gonna hit replay here.
He might be the quarterback in the second half. I don't know.
I figured they would pull a pass out right now with the time and, you know, as far as they had, and they did.
It was an illegal player downfield, which was so we're going back and forth here, like 5,000 different things here. But anyway,
he's
on
dropping back. There we go.
And there you see the interception, beautifully caught at about the 45-yard line by Colton Harris.
Yeah, he's going to get another star. He's going to have a couple stars.
He might have him on his uniform after this game.
Coach, if you watch this later, he's earning a few more stars today.
Big
hits on defense. He's carrying guys on his back, running the ball. Now an interception.
All right, so we're in the final 30 seconds here of this first half. Let's see what Delsea can do here on 1st and 10.
We haven't seen them pass, so I see them trying to get to the outside. There's not much time left. No, he's going to cut it in, 99 again.
Harris, he just steamrolled somebody and got to the 48-yard line. Now let's see if with 11 seconds left now, Delsea's going to use a timeout. So we're going to keep it here. So why don't we go ahead and put the league standings back up for you so you can see how your team's doing. We'll read them once again. Glassboro coming in a perfect 5-0. Clayton, who we saw last week, 4-1. Woodstown and Pennsville, both 3-2. Delsea, 2-3, but playing very inspired ball. Pittsgrove, a 1-4 record. So at least everybody has a win in this this league, which is always very nice to see.
Absolutely very nice. It's a great league. You know, well organized league. Been around a long time. Good teams, good coaches, good. You know, it's a good atmosphere, and glad to be a part of coming out doing these games, seeing all these good games.
Well, we've had some good games this weekend. We here on HSG Network last Friday saw a great game between Somerville and Hillsboro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for high school football.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch a good high school game once in a while.
And we're going to be back in Hillsboro Friday on HSG Network, but we had over 1,700 people watch.
Wow.
which is fantastic.
For that high school game, right?
Yes,
700.
indeed.
That's great.
Now in second down, flag down. Now keep in mind we have multiple colored flags. We have an encroachment foul against Glassboro. So I'll
Help
give
them
it
creep up a little bit.
Yeah, close to a first down. Remember, of course, we see all the pink on the field being part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's why we see yellow flags and pink flags being thrown on the field. So do not let the screen fool you. All right, so the ball is at the 46-yard line. We've seen a lot of action in the middle of the field, and outside of that one play, nobody's been able to win this tug of war.
You know, just small runs right now. No big plays, but the one like you said, and it's because defense are playing very sound. They're filling their gaps and assignments, and they're doing a good job of wrapping up.
Now a handoff up the middle, gonna be nothing there, and actually they're gonna get a first down, and it's gonna be called by Delsea. So they'll use their second time out here, so they're down to 1, and we'll keep it here again.
Looked like number 1 was on that tackle for the Bulldogs. I don't have his name on the roster. I just want to give that out there. Yeah, Glassboro number 1.
Well, the run was good enough for a first down, so if anything, they moved to 6. I believe we're under 10 seconds left.
Yep, possibly last play.
Actually, 2 seconds left.
It is definitely
So
last play.
unless there's a defensive penalty, this will be the final play of the first half.
I wonder if they got the fumble Rooski. 2 seconds left. We're on the fumble Rooski.
And this is a little funny. After the timeout was called, all of a sudden the entire team was going toward him. Okay, so let's try probably the final play of the first half.
Coming in that wing, double wing.
Yeah, they do go double wing.
All right, number 2 gets the call. He's cutting it in the middle.
And won't get much. Probably about 3, but hey, Delsea played an inspired first half. What have you seen, John?
Very even game right now. Records, are 5-0 and 2-3, but the Knights are playing as if they were 5-0 as well. So I'm sure the games they've played in the past were very close games. So good matchup. Don't look at the record in these games. Look at the gameplay of today, and they're both playing very sound football right now.
Most definitely they are, John. So your halftime score here in the freshman game, Glassboro ahead of Delsea by a score of 8-0. What we're going to do for halftime is we're going to show you photos of the TCUFL, which is captured by Telegraph. So check them out. We'll be back soon.
Quarterback keeper.
All right, my friends, thank you very much for your patience dealing with some signal issues once again as we have TCUFL action. We're in the early part of the fourth quarter now as Glassboro has taken a 22-0 lead. Meanwhile, following Glassboro nearly scoring a touchdown, and now we have a play where Glassboro just running completely the opposite direction and is probably going to end up scoring because of it. Oh, they tackle him about the 2-yard line. So needless to say, a lot of action while we're trying to make our way back here. I'm Tom Wilkins with John Zaplensky. Howard Gaber taking care of the controls here. If you just joined us, Glassboro with a 22-0 lead in the freshman game of this quadruple header. While you were away, if I can get the Glassboro players, like number 4, Ashton Bester, whom ran 2 touchdowns, and unfortunately, and I feel very bad that we didn't quite get them live, that's when the internet went down.
Yeah.
And he ran for a 60-yard touchdown after the internet went down, and then a 54-yard touchdown later in that third quarter. So he definitely has had a lot of yards, and we just saw a run from Mecky Mims that got him to about the 2-yard line. So that's where Glassboro has first and goal at the 2. Glassboro in the silver with gold numerals and looks like brownish helmets with the Green Bay / Georgia label on it.
Yeah, I was watching the game this whole time. Obviously, we were watching the game, and it started after the first touchdown in the first quarter. You know, it was a standoff, a defensive battle, and then Glassboro came back to finding a way this half to start putting points on the board. Their outside run game is pretty strong, and that's the factor today. Number 4 is a very hard runner. He hits that outside, and he's hard to take down, and he's got a lot of wheels to break away. So, unfortunately, we didn't, we had an internet problem, but we've been watching the game, and it's been a very good game so far.
Yeah, and Glassboro's obviously turned it up here in the second half. They were able to, once again, those sweep plays. That has been really
they run that outside counter, and they take it to the outside and they stretch it all the way to that sideline, and then the running back just takes it straight down the sideline, and that's how you run it. You try to stretch it as far as you can before you turn it up.
Here's a handoff up the middle. Is there a signal?
Big tackle right there by number 2, Miguel Morales.
Yeah, what we'll do before the game is over, we'll run down the rosters of both teams, and now we have an official timeout. Oh, there is a shaking up of Delsea player down. So let me go ahead. Let's give you the Glassboro Bulldog freshman roster. They are the following: Preston Jenkins Green, Mecky Mims, Ashton Bester, Jayshawn Collock, Caden Moore, Tujuan Bell Jr., Cameron Ross, Carter Eady, Jordan Hoxie, Elysion Wright, Dion Barr, Austin Kahn, Jordan Soto, Frank Casabone Jr., Hosea Phillips, Javion Brooks, Jahari Rolland, Jason Sanders, Kashmir Miller, and Andre Chisholm. And the coaching staff we have: Tejuan Bale, Frank Casabone, Tariq Gaines, Kyle Grays, Jamir Green, Sherman Harris, Kasif McBride, Mike Mims, Kirk Moore, and Marquis Swan. And the gentleman who does public address for Delsea just came around and said, he read that fast, didn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I'm not perfect with enunciation all the time. Probably going to get comments on that. Here's another. That's the second time in 3 tries we've seen a drop snap on goal to goal for Glassboro. These are the first plays all game, literally on like the nearest end of the field.
Yeah, the game really wasn't moving, from 40 to 40 for a while there, other than the first touchdown in the first half.
Yeah, all 3 scores came from within that 20-yard zone.
Yeah. So, Delsea's holding on strong right now, try to keep Glassboro out of the end zone.
Yeah, they want to keep strong and try and make a stop here, which it's actually 4th and goal from about the 7-yard line. And unfortunately, that's the result of 2 dropped exchanges to the quarterback. Let's see what happens here.
Is it the 3rd or the 4th?
Taking it around the left side, and he got an easy goal there on the right corner. So Glassboro now ups their lead on that 4th and goal. Looked like a quarterback keeper. You decide, I'll take it in myself. And ends up being a 7-yard touchdown run as we reach the midway point of the final quarter.
Yeah, Glassboro scored.
But and there's a reason why Glassboro is unbeaten in the freshman league. It seems like their coaches have them well prepared. They make adjustments going into the second half, and literally that's the end result here.
Yeah, they're playing some good football. Once they got their motors running, you can see the running game is a big strength for them. Defense has been solid this whole game too, but 4th quarter, 22, it should be 26. The score needs to be updated. You can see why they're 5-0 right now.
Howard's got his hands full, but we know it's
Cameraman's got his hands full today. We've had a lot of problems, so bear with us. But they're playing very solid now, and you can see with the fundamentals why they're going to go into week 7 6-0.
All right, so let's see how they do with the conversion here.
They do pass, so you might see a pass come out of this deal here. It's good to practice.
They took too long. They took too long, delay a game, so the conversion's going to be from, I believe, the 8-yard line. All right, so they're going to back it up 5 yards, and Glassboro will try to conversion from the 8. Now, this happened to them last time. They had a false start after the touchdown on the conversion, but they still were able to run it in from like 8 yards out. So they've been 3 for 3 on conversions. They're going to look to be 4 for 4. Remember, one of them was a passing conversion for 2 points.
That was the first touchdown. It was a good. Oh, we got a fumble.
And he's going to pick it up. Let's see what he can do with it.
Oh, he got away.
He slips out of one tackle. He's surrounded by everybody, and he's not going to quite get there. But, you know, hey, it happens. We saw this a lot in the last couple of minutes between center and quarterback here. I'm guessing probably new players, new positions. But the conversion fails. It's 28-0 Glassboro. John, how about reading the Delsea list?
Yeah, I'm about to grab that right now while we got time. All right, here's your freshman Delsea Knights. Holden Daughtery, Miguel Morales, King Vini, Logan Figueroa, Charles Deschler, Michael Pagan, Theo Herman, Tyler Rabinski, Jasper Smith, Kyler Dorney, Anthony Richelli, Cooper Simpson, Alexander Soto, Marshall Raskowski, Kyan Biddingham, Michael Letterman, Julian Lane, Damaso Thompson, Elijah Brittingham, Salah Amar, Jackson Richardson, Evan Tulini, Joseph Bosco, Willington Higginbotham, Joseph Cross, Bryce Ostrowski, Anthony Small, Colton Harris. And that is your roster for the Delsea Knights freshmen, and this is their coaching staff. Ken Dorney, John Harris, Frank Lovering, Mike Pagan, Colin Rybczynski, Gary Raskowski, Aaron Solomon, and Randy Vini, your 2023 Delsea Knights.
And you know what? Delsea's played a spirited game, but I think the way
well-rounded. Yeah, they had a pretty good game. You know, for the score don't reflect on some of the big plays they made.
Yeah, definitely true. I mean, there have been 3 big plays, and there was almost a fourth where the back basically went to the near side, stopped, reversed direction, and came very close to getting into the end zone. In fact, he got to about the 2.
Yeah.
And
the three out of 4 touchdowns were just one big play. The 4th touchdown for Glassboro, you know, they really had to march downfield and work for it and then punch it in from like 3 yards out.
Well, they've only
3 big plays.
Well, they've run well over 200 yards rushing in this game.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Definitely.
now you're going to see the shortest onside kick in history.
it went back -1 inch.
He's like, okay, I'll teach you how to spin kick here in your early days.
Yeah, we got off 5:18, 5:0.
Yeah, 5:08 left.
5:08 left in the
yeah,
game.
5:08 left till time, and Delsea going to take a shot and try and get some points on this drive.
Yeah, so, you know, going into next week, it's going to look like, you know, Glassboro is going to be 6-0, and the Knights are going to come in next week at 2-4. Good game. Just, you know, they just broke away.
And there you can see the standings up on your screen coming into today. If this holds, Glassboro will be a perfect 6-0. Delsea will fall to 2-4. But you see Clayton, Woodstown, Pennsville ahead, and Pittsgrove behind Delsea. So, I mean, you got to give the kids credit. I mean, sometimes
2-2 going in next week, 2-4. You got 2 more weeks to get to that 500. So, you know, you try to get to that, you know, playoff 500 caliber possibly in the next 2 weeks, make up for today. They're playing a very good team, so that's going to help them next week regardless. You know, when you play, you know, teams that are, you know, playing a little bit more better this week, it's going to help them. And they got a lot of athletes on this Knights team. And number 99 and
all right, sorry about that, John. We're just checking a connection issue for a moment.
we're just taking precautions today. we're in, you know, Pennsylvania Avenue out here in Franklinville, and you know it's kind of woodsy. You know, there's a lot of
unlike some other Pennsylvania avenues we know about. But anyway, Glassboro called a timeout in that last play. So first, the other.
Had a very solid game for that runs today for the Knights.
Under 4 minutes still time here in the fresh here. Check.
You know, you might, to find that end zone right now, it's late in the game, but you might speed in the middle. Too tight on the defense either. We really haven't.
Another time. So, Delsea's
it to the sideline and cut it in, stretch it as far as you can if they got their fastest guy. They've been doing a lot of them, motions, and the guy gets it, and he cuts it in pretty fast between the tackles. And I think that maybe if they could stretch one to the sideline and then turn on the burners to try to get some yardage.
And so after that Glassboro timeout, they used 2 on this drive. I guess they're trying to make sure their defense is on point here while trying to keep the
coming out in that double tight pro set formation. So they did change up the little bit of package.
Too far, maybe
Got
back
2
to the
yards.
original line of scrimmage. Might be a yard shy of that. So it'll be 4th and 11. But Delsea's at least trying. Glassboro's just too fast, and they've been able to execute.
They have been very well game play on both sides of the ball. They got, a little bit faster running backs, which was a big factor.
So we'll see what goes on here on 4th down. Ooh. They try to pass. It looks like he's okay, thankfully.
Big hit. Is the film live still? Oh. All right, we're still on? There we go. All right, we just seen a real big hit on the defense. Quarterback dropped back for a nice pass. We would have seen one of our first passes from the Knights, and a defender got in there and laid the smackdown on a huge hit on the quarterback with a turnover on downs now. Big hit. Got about 28 seconds left in this game.
That's actually the score of Glassboro you're seeing on the field. But we know there's not much time left.
Oh, that's guess. That's not 28 seconds. I'm looking at the screen like everyone at home. I was like, 28 seconds. 52 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, we're in the final minute of the game. We'll just leave it at that.
Final minute.
Well, shall we say this is one of the more interesting games that we've had or have not been able to necessarily broadcast, but, hey, things go on the way they do for a reason,
Yeah, we got it running, and we have the Wi-Fi and everything working good now. So let's keep our fingers crossed for the next 2 games that it's smooth sailing.
Well, we got 3 games.
3 games. Right, yeah, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. So smooth sailing now. Let's just.
And we can't blame Mother Nature this time.
No, there's not a storm in sight. Blue sky, beautiful game day.
Yeah, clouds rolling in a little bit. They'll get one more play in.
Trying to bounce it out.
They'll hand it off right side. There's going to be a flag down probably for a hold. He's still going, though.
Yeah, it's possible.
Gets out of
call
bounds.
back there.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold. May not matter anyway because the game's going to be over.
It was, that outside game for the Bulldogs was the big factor today. They got that breakaway outside speed, and it's been just too much for the Knights today. But the Knights played a great game. The score, 28-0. Glassboro going to come out with a victory.
Yep, and they've officially, I believe, called the game because everybody's lined up.
Yeah, that's the time right there.
All right, so your final, Glassboro ahead over Delsea, 28-0 in the freshman game. Let's grab a quick break, and we'll come back hopefully in a few moments. All right, we are back here in Franklinville, New Jersey, getting ready for Game 2 of the quadruple header between the Glassboro Bulldogs and the Delsea Knights. This, of course, the sophomore matchup between these two teams. And I would have to think this is going to be another good contest here. As you can see in the sophomore standings, Pennsville is a perfect 5-0. They got Woodstown 4-1, Clayton 3-2. Pitts Grove at 2-3. Like I said, I am not the best. Hey, they're off this week, you know. Delsea and Glassboro. Delsea has a win. Glassboro still looking for their first win. So this might be a bit of an even game here.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
Well, as you can hear that voice, that's John Saplensky. I'm Tom Wilkins. Howard Gaber taking care of the controls and hoping the sophomore matchup will be a bit of a smooth ride compared to the freshman. But then again, yeah, we've done. Let's explain what the teams we've done. We have done Pennsville before, and I think that was last week.
Yeah.
We've done Clayton. That was last week.
Yep.
Millville,
Vineland.
Yeah, Millville and Vineland we've done. We've done Centerville.
Bridgeton.
Done Voorhees. We've done Bridgeton. We've also done Eastern as well. So we've done most of the teams so far. Yes, we'll be. Yeah, we will. We will also be doing this next week. We just don't know where just yet, but we'll certainly let you know once you find out. And the way to find out is by subscribing to HSG Network on YouTube. Make sure you tell your friends in the TCUFL universe to do the same thing. Subscribe. Obviously, given the roller coaster we had in the first hour, we've had over 300 people check in, and I want to make sure we were business as usual, getting ready going into this game. So I would have to suspect this is going to be a highly anticipated game the way this is going.
Yeah, I'm looking for some good football. The freshman game, the score didn't reflect how good the fundamentals were for that level. It was 28-0, but the Knights held tough. I mean, they had some players that were making some great plays. Just unfortunately, you got a winner and you got a loser, and the score was 28-0. Glassboro, very sound freshman team. It's going to be fun to see them through the playoffs, what they're going to end the season at, if they're going to keep going undefeated. But I think the Knights, have an opportunity as well as they played, work on that outside game at the freshman level and, try to get to that 500 record for playoff time.
And I agree, too. I mean, the Delsea freshmen did a very good job. But Glassboro just made the adjustments and made the bigger plays in the second half, and that's why that game was out of reach.
The interior defense, shut down the running game. I mean, the Knights did have a lot of running offensive yards inside the tackles, but they did make that adjustment, and you've seen them big hits through the middle. So that's what you need to adjust, and they did just that.
All right, well, Glassboro won the toss, and they're going to make their choice in the second half, so it will be Delsea's ball first in the red uniforms, Glassboro in the gray uniforms with the brown helmets, the Green Bay/Georgia logo on their helmet. As you can see a close-up there. Yeah, it looks like either Georgia or Green Bay. Either way, it's still the same logo print. But so I guess considering they're the Glassboro Bulldogs, we would lean a little bit more towards Georgia in that case.
Remember Corey Clement from the Eagles?
That's right, I remember him.
He's from Glassboro.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Corey Clement is from Glassboro.
Well, anyway, the kickoff is recovered by Delsea down around the 25-yard line. So that's where we're going to begin the game. And it'll be Delsea with 1st and 10. And trying to get all the papers together. That was Timothy Rutterow, who was the one who fell on the ball, and will be underway with a 1st and 10. So what do you expect both teams to come out with early?
It's hard to say. You see very similar offenses every week we've been here. Everyone so far, every game, someone likes the double wing, the wing T. The I formation is still popular. We haven't really seen a lot of passing. Last game we've seen probably 4 passes for the freshmen. We might see some more of that at the sophomore level. Every level it increases. So I'm sure they might come out in that wing T. I think it looks like they're in the double wing right now.
All right, so Delsea's first possession of the game, ball spot at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. And they're going to hand off up the middle, not very much.
Yeah, they had a big tackle by number, looks like number 10.
If
yeah,
that's
10 for
if that's
Glassboro.
10, that's Messiah Dupree.
Yeah, he had a nice tackle there. You know, filled the gap.
Actually,
and,
says 1. That would be a Joseph Crudell.
oh, is it 0-1? Am I reading that backwards? No, it's 10. It's 10.
Well, we'll all right, 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line, and now flags down. Somebody evidently jumped.
Yeah, we got an offsides.
It
On the
is,
offense.
yes, indeed. It is a neutral zone infraction against Glassboro, so that's a free 5 for Delsea. They were able to get 2 yards on the first play, so a 5-yard penalty will now make it 2nd and 3 as they'll spot the ball at the 31-yard line. And that's one thing you got to see, especially in the younger age levels. Cohesiveness is a very important thing. Yeah. And unfortunately, you do see a lot more of those 5-yard penalties when people are not together on the snap.
Yeah, Delsea, you know, their program, you know, they live a lot with that wing T. All the way through high school, so it's very important that these, from my memory and playing in this league many years ago, and they stay true to the high school level. Like, you know, we talked about that in past weeks. A lot of these programs are built to fundamentally sound these kids to get them ready for what the head coach is running at these high schools. And
now, is this usually a South Jersey thing that this happens, John?
No, it's Delsea is like the high school was the king of the wing T in South Jersey.
Oh, really?
There's not many teams that, you know, could fundamentally, they win state championships, 4 in a row. I mean, in the high school level, they run it. I mean, you would used to see St. Joe's run it a lot too with Coach Saka. But yeah, Delsea is the king of the wing T down in this area. That's why they fundamentally sound. They run their midget program.
Well, Jacob Early is the one that got the carry on 3rd down, and he ends up moving the chains. He gets to the 39-yard line, so a nice gain of 6. I'm sorry, gain of 8, and it's a first down for Delsea.
Nice move, moving the ball. You know, you get that first drive. You want to get your linemen pumped up, warmed up, keep driving, go for them yards, get that first down, and get that ball rolling. You know, it's very important. Get that first score.
Okay, Delsea breaks huddle. It's 1st and 10, first couple minutes of this sophomore game, opening drive.
Staying true to the wing.
And we got flags down as somebody may have jumped. And this time it's a false start against Delsea. Will back it up 5 yards. So while we have a second, let's remind everybody, of course, we thank you for your patience from earlier. Please, you're welcome to comment on the YouTube feed, HSG Network. And we might show some of your comments, too. HSG Network on YouTube. Now, of course, you can catch the live feed also on TCUFL's website. So make sure you check both of those out. But you can comment on HSG Network on YouTube. So check the link out. And please make sure you subscribe. We're going to definitely be doing this next couple weeks as well. And as we get to playoff time, definitely going to be a lot of fun. Well, we will tell you this. We will have both days of the finals. So that's something, and they will be live here on HSG Network, so be on watch for that. And as we see the October flag come out yet again, and this time it's going to be a neutral zone infraction. So literally we go back 5 and then forward 5, and we get to start this thing all over again.
Just a couple jitters, got to get them out, you know. You really, as a coach, you wish these didn't happen to start a game. Sixth game of the season, you know, we got 4 or 5 penalties already to start the game. So, you know, hopefully you get them jitters out, you know, when you're warming up. But
well, it's just the opening drive too. But then again, it's just a matter of learning of the position, getting everybody to work together with you. So 1st and 10.
Got a loaded box. Looks like they're showing a little blitz on Glassboro possibly. Dive up the middle. Oh, he cut it out a little bit off tackle.
And he cuts nicely to about the 45, 46-yard line. So another 7-yard pickup. That's early again.
Had number one on that tackle for Glassboro.
So a trade-off, a one-on-one. Crudell in the tackle early with the 7-yard run, and he's had all the carries so far.
Looks like we got number 11 as the shot caller for the Knights today.
And that would be Croy Kruthmau.
Croy Kruthmar. Okay, he's our quarterback.
They line up the same way on second, and it looks to be about 3 from right outside the 46-yard line. This time a different
28.
carrier. Oh,
Great
goodness.
defense.
Good defense that time. The carrier was a Thomas Brown, but he ended up going the wrong way, and Glassboro read it beautifully.
You got number 27. That's number 27. Big
Tajer
loss.
Hugup.
Yeah, actually, it's a line of script, third and 10.
So he went from 2nd and 3 to 3rd and 9, a 6-yard loss on the play.
Way to shut that down. Great open field tackle, closed down the gap, and he brought him down for no gain.
And sometimes it's like a matter of your peripheral vision when you see the defender coming in to get you, rather than go outside, try and go in and save yourself a further loss of yards.
Yeah, he was trying to stretch it out, but unfortunately, 27 got there really quick.
Yeah, good job there. Now on 3rd down, they will
Other way
pitch
now.
out, try it the other way, and then cuts
Cuts it back
inside. Not going to be much that time, getting to about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, he was tripped up by number 9, the initial guy that got his ankle, shoelace tackle. But,
King Dupree.
yeah, you got a hand on that ankle. That's all you need sometimes.
And now an official timeout. So right now on 4th down, looks like they're going to do a punt option. We didn't see any of that in the freshman game. So they'll move it over to about it looks like the 36-yard line. Remember, it's 25 yards down the field for the other team to get.
So now we're going to see what Glassboro's got for us today at this sophomore level.
Yes, they'll spot the ball at the 36. So Glassboro in their opening drive, they got 1st and 10. Although, give Delsea credit, they did have a good opening drive. It's just that Glassboro's defense was able to step it up when they needed to.
Yeah, they made the right plays at the right time, and now resulting in they got the ball. So let's see if they can smell the end zone, or how this defense is going to stand up and how similar they are to this freshman level.
So the ball spotted at the 36-yard line. So Glassboro will have 1st and 10.
Nice size offensive line out there for the Glassboro. Yeah,
Well,
defensive line.
yeah,
too.
this is
97. Has it got some hogs out there.
You got number 60 out there, too.
60, 97. Got some big boys.
So 1st and 10 in the full house. And the
Got a little
handoff.
gap, fighting his way through.
And did he
Fumble.
lose the ball?
There's a fumble.
No signal yet. He got to about the 38. But I'm guessing Glassboro fell on it, so it's 2nd and 8. So right now, Delsea, they were able to try and force a turnover and almost got it.
Hard runner. He was trying to wiggle his way through, He hit that, hit the line of scrimmage, and he was going left, he was going right, and back to the right,
All right, so they break huddle, and Glassboro has 2nd and 8. Ball spot at the 38-yard line.
It's coming out in that wing, double wing, too.
All right, let's see. Yeah, it is a double wing.
There we go, and he gives the handoff outside.
And trying to squeeze back in,
got away
slips
from
through
a
a
tackle.
tackle.
He's still
Look
going.
out.
That's number 2, I
Crossing
think.
midfield. He gets to the 40,
Wow.
to the 30. He's going to outrun everybody and get a goal, and there are no flags down.
That was the second play, right? That was the second play.
Literally
of
the
this
second play.
drive. This is exactly what happened last game. It was a reenactment. One play.
So
Yeah,
it
now
ends
we
up
have it.
being, and I think it was number 2, Isaiah Gamble.
Yeah, it was number 2. So if you missed that play when our Wi-Fi went down in the freshman game, that drive was identical to the freshman drive. Okay, so you just witnessed the freshman drive, the same play, the same touchdown, over
Same
here on the
style.
sophomore, same style.
Except it was the other end that time around.
yeah,
and
so
the
you got to see it. Oh no, is there a
Oh,
flag?
wait, was there a I didn't see
Oh,
any flags
wow.
unless there was one compleply out of our view.
Yeah, there definitely was.
And it's coming back, so never
Ooh, that
mind
hurts.
anything that we had just said.
That didn't happen in the freshman game on that touchdown.
It is
got a
a
hold.
holding against
that's
Glassboro.
that is a
That is
tough
a
one.
boy. That is a difficult one to swallow
He
there.
got to that outside, and he very similar to number 4 on the freshman level, stretched it out and took it all the way down the sideline.
And they did that 3 times in the freshman game, and almost the 4th.
So we got the replay right here. Let's
I
see
will
what
do
we
that
got.
in a moment. But anyway,
This is the replay right here.
Oh, this is
There
the
we
replay.
go, and we have a block. I could have been right there where the young man fell, possibly. There might have been a hand in there maybe.
Or a block in the back. Anyway,
we
second
go.
down. And now
Trying to
they're going to
stretch it
swing the
again,
left
foul his
side
lead
this
block.
time. And now this
Another
time we
flag.
see an obvious flag come in. He goes down to 29. We'll see what this is about. So we've had our share of penalties here, and another hold's going to be on Glassboro. So back-to-back holding fouls.
Unfortunately, yeah, that'll hurt you. You know, when that arm extends, they're going to call it. A lot of times when they're chasing the ball carrier lineman, you need to work on them steps. And when you don't have that second or third step, the arms go with the defender as he goes. When you plant your feet and your feet are flat, it happens a lot more than you would like. But these kids are learning. Keep working on their craft.
So second and a long way now.
They started out with a touchdown, and now they're it's pretty big 30 yards, second and 30.
Second and quite a long way.
10, 20, yeah, about 30 yards almost.
Ball looks like it's at about the 17-yard line.
He's going around
And
to
now
the
they're going to
right.
hand off, going to
Going
try the right
backwards. You don't want to
side.
go backwards.
And now he's going to reverse field.
Oh, boy. he's
And look at that.
closing it down.
Oh, he was able to get by. He stepped out of bounds.
He's got the first down.
Well, no,
I
he's
think- no,
not.
he's
No,
close,
he's
okay.
not quite. Oh, they're going to give him the 38-yard line. I actually thought he stepped out of bounds closer to the 30,
That's number
but
2 again.
once again, Isaiah Gamble,
That was
he
like
ran
80
a lot.
yards. That
He-
was a total of 80 yards or more.
A lot of yards to get back to within manageable territory. It's going to be 3rd and 8. That was like a 21-yard pickup.
He ran backwards probably 18 yards, and then he ran east and west another 20.
Is Fran?
That was going to be a very large loss turned into a very positive gain. You can't teach that kind of running. That's just natural athleticism at a young age. So hats off to number 2.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work. Unfortunately, no points to show for just yet as we come down to 3 minutes left in the first quarter. So Glassboro breaks huddle. It'll be 3rd and 8. Ball is going to be at their own 38-yard line.
Coming in that bunch package, that diamond package right now.
Looks like a full house.
Yeah, the full house, and, you know, they're double tight, so you looking for some of this power, and they got them on the sides.
Well, it depends on if they drew him off or, yeah, it looks like they did. So it is going to be an encroachment foul. So you went from 2nd and 29 to 3rd and 3.
That's a big help.
I mean, that's a big penalty. I mean, this is going to give Glassboro the momentum right back, having to recover from a second and humongously long and able to get a first down. They're like 3 yards shy of that.
Yeah, it was going on 2 is it keeps the defense on their toes at these levels. Again, it's learning. You know, you're right in front of the ball. You had your 2 interior defensive linemen right on top of the ball, and unfortunately, you know, 60 jumped, a little bit of 97. So you got to watch that ball. You're anxious. They're moving to the ball pretty quick, but you get over anxious, and that's what happens.
So now the ball's at the 43-yard line. And they'll go back in that full house package on 3rd and 3. They need to get to the 46.
Quick dive.
Inside handoff, and the
Nowhere.
dive didn't work.
Nowhere.
Good job by Delsea's defense to shut
60
that
and
down.
97, so 60 made up for it. He's out there.
Sure
he's
did.
He's like, here I am.
Luka Weichman and
get me to
Elias
jump.
Kasim.
You get me to jump off sides, I'm coming even harder the second play.
It's like, you're not going to run into me, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you got 2 big bulls in the middle there at that, and covering them A gaps. So, you know, that's probably why you're going to see the Bulldogs try to get outside, because you're not going to want to run at them 2.
And now it'll be 4th and 5, and now an official timeout. Actually, timeout can be called by Glassboro. So we're going to keep it right here. And what have you seen so far on Glassboro, what they're trying to do? Is it literally like the same thing as the freshman team?
Well, yeah, very similar. You've seen it in the first 2 plays. So, yeah, very similar to the freshmen. You know, it's the same program, so you expect it most of the time. But yeah, very, very even out game right now. That outside game, again, just like the freshman level, the Knights are going to have to watch it because obviously that is their bread and butter is that outside, them sweeps and them pitches to the outside. So, you contain that because the Knights' inside running game defense is pretty solid right now. We've seen number 60's got a personality on him. He's causing a little havoc out there. 97. Yeah, they're doing a good job. So it's a very even game, just like the last 0-0 first quarter. So I seen it coming down to the wire on this one.
But I also think Glassboro's made some offensive mistakes that have kind of really hindered them back, too.
Yeah, penalties are, but Coach is doing a good job getting him back. You got a big fourth down here. I'm sure he's got something in that playbook to try to get that first down, I mean, they showed they can make a big play. If everyone blocks, I would not run in the middle right now on this fourth down with them two big guys in the middle. So you're probably going to see if they got a, like we said in that last game, if they got a nice pass possibly right now is the time to use it. They might try to go on 2 again, or they're going to try to get number 2 the ball and go outside. Because right now we already learned very quick in the game, number 2 is the game changer for the Bulldogs in the backfield.
Well, that's going to be somebody's going to play I Spy here. 4th and 5 from the 41-yard line.
Number 2's in got a flag already.
Yeah, but did somebody jump to go along with that? Oh, the indication is a neutral zone infraction on Delsea, and that could be the first down. Oh, that is going to hurt.
Little anxious.
I mean, Delsea's got to be like, you're kidding me. We have 2nd and 29. They got the first down.
Is it short by an inch?
No, they've moved the chains.
Oh, they did move the chain. Okay, I wasn't sure if they were leaving it there. Okay, there it is. First, yep, 1st and 10.
Well, the one
Caught a couple good breaks on this drive with them
massive,
losses they had.
yeah,
penalty.
2 encroachment fouls. I mean, that kind of made up for it right there. So Glassboro is back in action as they get a new set of downs, 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Now they're going to go back in full house, it looks like.
Fouling his lead block right through.
And a good tackle that time.
97.
And you had mentioned Elias Kasim,
Yeah.
who was able to make the stop there, probably a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, he's very tall. He can see over the line. He's the tallest guy out there. For his size, him and 60 together, that's a dual threat.
They're going to be hard to stop or neutralize.
Yeah, it looks like they're flip-flopping.
No matter of where you're lined up is how the play is going to go.
Yeah, when you got big guys like that in the middle, it's hard to run. You're forced.
Looks ball spotted the 45-yard line. So this was a little bit of a war of attrition for a little bit, and then the one big play, and that's been Glassboro's MO today. Big play after big play. So we'll see how they line for the conversion. Same thing as before.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was a full house.
It's a keeper. Did he get in?
Looks good.
Yes, he did. Just barely, but it's a conversion that makes it 7-0. And we are at quarter time, so the score is 7-0 Glassboro over Delsea. We'll come back with quarter number 2 after this. All right, we're back here in Franklinville for the start of the second quarter. Glassboro just scored the opening touchdown, and the quarterback keeper on the conversion has made it a 7-0 lead for the Bulldogs. Delsea now to get the ball. Let's see what they can do here as we begin the second quarter. I'm Tom Wilkins with John Saplensky. Howard Gaber taking care of the controls here. And even though the offensive line for Glassboro, I mean, they may have made a few mistakes, but they made a key play.
Peripheral vision. He's got great speed. He's make a big play.
The kickoff. That's where all right. All right. Oh, okay. Brief outage here, but Delsea with a first down after they got a 6-yard run, and then Glassboro got called for a neutral zone infraction. Here they are at the 45-yard line.
Nice
a handoff
run.
up the middle, and he gets some nice yardage going into Glassboro territory. They're going to give him the 47-yard.
Pretty hard, number one. He had a nice scrimmage and got 8 yards.
But with their blocking scheme, I mean, it looks like both offensive lines seem to be doing quite well.
Offensive line, because without it, you got nothing. So both teams are doing a great job right now. It's going to be nice.
Well, we're in the early stages of finding out.
Going back in that wing.
And this is a keeper. One guy, and it's going to be tackled for a loss. I'll tell you one thing. I think we underestimated the speed of Glassboro's defense there.
Yeah, he hawked them down on that. You know, he did down that gap and took them down.
So the ball will be spotted at the 49-yard line, but ends up being a 3-yard loss. So 3rd and 5. Not been working, but running up the middle has a little bit better.
You know, it's discipline on that backside when you tell your defensive backs off, and he stayed home and he made a great tackle for a loss on that.
For maybe about a yard. So now you got a 4th and 4 coming up, and now obviously the complexion has changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's a big 4th down. Do they have a 2? They could answer back and go on 2 maybe to keep this defense on there. You really need this right now, because right now, number 2, you want to keep him, away from getting the ball, and the Bulldogs. First down is very much needed right now.
4th and 4 from the 49-yard line.
It's very important. Discipline offensive line on both teams today. They held their ground on that going on 2, and they were both successful on the offense to get the other team to jump. So you need to use it when you need them, and that's one of the times you really needed it.
All right, so down to the 44-yard line on 1st and 10.
Quick dive up the middle.
Yes, indeed, down to maybe the 40-yard line. So if one thing, at least they're trying to run behind the blockers and get some yards. They're going to give them the 41, so it's a gain of 3. And a flag?
Yeah, we thought he dropped his flag.
Oh, a penalty on the referee for dropping his flag. Hey, you never know where you're going to get with these games. All right, 2nd and 7 from the 41-yard line. Now a handoff early that time. We'll get to about the 38, maybe the 37.
They're staying more of an inside the tackle running game so far we've seen from the Knights. It's the opposite of what we're seeing with the Bulldogs. Bulldogs are more of an outside the last 2 games. You know, Knights are more of an inside both games so far. So we'll see if maybe they got a little bit more of this outside. They're gonna have to. They got a lot of guys in the box right now, so they're gonna have to make a few changes.
And they're going to hand off on 3rd down to Early, and he's going to be about a yard or 2 short of a first down, depending on where they spot the ball. And it looks like the 30. Our nose are going to be waiting for that, too.
Yeah, they got a big nose tackle there he just made a tackle, too, for the Bulldogs. I can't get a number on him right there. He's a solid run stopper, too. He had a nice tackle. He's been you see he's excited. He's like he wants to get in there. Zoomed in, you can see the intensity he's bringing right there.
Wait a minute. We got a timeout called by Delsea. So why don't we grab a break here with just under 4 minutes till halftime. Glassboro had 7-0 on Delsea. We'll be back in a moment.
We have the world at our fingertips, inspiration in our touch, and power in our hands. Our hands can build relationships, frame ideas, and empower communities. And it doesn't stop there. Right here, in our hands, we have the power to save a life. If you see a teen or adult suddenly collapse, call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest.
The power is in your hands.
All right, we are back. Anyway, we're back here in Franklinville as Delsea uses their first time out of the half. And they're putting together a decent drive, but they've been assisted with a couple of Glassboro mistakes. Glassboro had 7-0 at this point. So going to see how they come out with this 4th down play. And now, okay, they're just coming out. It looked like they were going back to the bench for a second.
Yeah, they're coming out. They have that ground and pound offensive style. They're not looking for this huge play. They're just trying to making bigger plays out of short gains. They're staying inside the tackles. Now they just changed their offense. They're going for that pass.
And it's over the head, incomplete. I think it was a quick throw, and I guess one of the runners stopped their route. And if that's the case, that's probably why it was doomed to fail. So it's an incompletion, and Delsea turns the ball over on downs. I mean, it was a nice thought, but the execution just wasn't there.
Yeah. So we've seen our first pass.
First actual pass in a game and a half, I think. We can't count the conversions, to be quite honest, but
yeah, our first actual gameplay pass.
And we remind our fans, of course, at this level.
We did see one last game because our main man, 99, had an interception.
Oh, you're right. You are right. I forgot about that.
Freshman 99 for the Knights had an interception.
And what I don't know if the fans got to see that or not, but that you are right and reminded me on that one.
Yeah, so our second pass of the game, of the day so far. So here we go. Glassboro, got to protect that outside. I'm sure they're going to come right to that outside game right now.
And let's see if Delsea can match the speed there. Ball spot at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10.
There he's bouncing it. He's trying to stretch it.
Oh,
Great
it's
defense.
not going to happen.
Wow, way to stay home, 28.
Down at the 28-yard line. What a great stop.
Number 28 for the Knights with a big
Brown with a nice stop. They're going to put it at the 30-yard line. Ends up
assignment. That's a coach's dream at these levels, He stayed home. He's seen the ball carrier. He cuts the gap down. He breaks down, makes a nice tackle.
And so Glassboro's going to have 2nd and long again. So you're looking probably 2nd and 17. Now we got, I believe, a timeout.
Yeah, another timeout.
I don't know who signaled it, though. So we'll keep here for a second here, but In the meantime, I mean, right now you're looking at both defensive fronts for Glassboro and for Delsea, and they're a little faster than you might think, especially at this level.
Yeah, that was number 2 has shown he's a big runner, and for them to step up, they obviously had a little pep talk. Hey, but he's gonna try to go outside. Although I don't know if that was him on that carry, I'm assuming it was him. And let's stop this outside. Let's force them inside. So that could be what you talked about before they came back out there. So
Well, keep in mind, John, they're obviously going to be substituting other people because everyone's got to play. So sometimes you have to put other people in those particular positions. Everything is always a matter of execution in the end, but But following the timeout, Glassboro will have 2nd and 17. Now, considering what happened on the last drive, they can't Delsea can't let Glassboro off the hook like they did last time, because the last time that happened, it eventually resulted in a 54-yard touchdown.
yeah, big play. See what they're coming out here now.
Okay, ball spotted at the 30.
Looks
Lot
like eye
of
formation.
coaches on the field here.
Yeah, we got it. They came out in eye formation.
Trying to stutter step. He's going to
Big
get
tackle.
and he lost the football.
Wow.
And Delsea fell on it. Is it inbounds? Yes, it is.
Did you see a lineman make that tackle? Did you see Big 60?
Yes, he did.
Did that remind me of Leon Lett back in the day?
May have, yeah. Luke, that is Luke Weichman with the tackle and a strip.
Someone better get him a burger after the game and fries, because that's a lineman's dream. Reward. We like food when we make big things like that. He earned something after the game.
And now they need the chain gang to move into position for first down. 'Cause unless he was out of bounds when he recovered it.
Very possibly he was.
Because they
out of
have
bounds.
this sticks at 3rd and 6. And I thought
Still can't take away number 60 making that tackle. That was beautiful.
So a tough break for Delsea. I guess the foot was out of bounds, just like I thought it was last week. But anyway, 3rd and 6 from the 40-yard line. And they're going to hand it off, breaking through one tackle. And here we go
Found the
again.
seam.
First down and more.
Oh, he's
and it's
breaking
a
away.
road runner race, and it's adios.
He's
Here,
breaking away.
yes,
60-yard
indeed.
touchdown.
63-yard touchdown run.
Number two again.
And once again, the road runner Isaiah Gamble was able to come through.
Wow.
And there are no flags on the play, so Glassboro extends their lead.
And what was very good on that play is that was an inside run that he bounced out. I mean, he basically came through. It looked like the 2 gap, and then he found a way to get through. A couple players went in. They did get in the backfield. Their heads were down, though, and he just found his seam, and he took it. And he knows how to find the end zone.
He absolutely does, and once he gets into the 2nd and 3rd levels, there's just no stopping him.
So right there, that's 100 on 2 touchdowns, 108 yards on 2 touchdowns.
That's an insane number. 117 from my edition there.
Yeah, well, he had a 21-yard carry. He had 55 or 63. He had a 48-yard touchdown callback.
So Glassboro now with 13, looking to get the conversion.
So they prove they can run outside, and he can keep it inside and then bounce it out. So he's running very well.
All right, let's see what they do on the conversion. It's a handle.
tripped up.
Oh, he got tripped up. So the conversion fails, and Glassboro is stuck with a 13-0 lead. But I tell you what, give Delsea credit for at least stopping them. But, hey, sometimes the feet come out from under you, and the play. All right, so Glassboro will kick off here, and they've done a very good job. And, I mean, they've made some mistakes, but the one thing they've done, they've recovered from them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there are teams that go way back, and they're waiting for the other team to make a mistake. And
It's patience.
It doesn't happen.
You make your mistakes. You make up for them with big plays. You're going to get mistakes in every game, all the way through midgets, high school, college, and the NFL. So, it's how you make up for them. And they're finding a way to find the end zone. So the factor right here is we're making mistakes. We'll pick up the slack, find the end zone.
No, it was 7 and then 6. the quarterback keeper was a 1-point conversion. So it should be 7, and a 6 is with the conversion no good. So it should be 13.
13-0 second quarter.
Yeah, we had to
Glassboro
adjust the
has the
scoreboard there. All right, so Glassboro will kick off. I think Delsea has 2 timeouts left to use, so we'll see if they're able to drive down the field for this next drive.
It's a big drive right here.
Yeah, I definitely agree there.
You always want to try to get one in the end zone before the half.
Taking it about the 32-yard line. Early's going to try and cut the corner, and is tackled at about the 37-yard line. So that's where Delsea will begin 1st and 10. Now, we've seen a couple of some positive plays by Delsea in the first couple of drives. Expecting to change it up or maybe stick with what's working for them.
This Glassboro defense is showing they got some speed. The Knights have been having a trouble trying to bounce the ball outside, so they've been staying a lot of between the tackles. They got to figure out a way to get that ball to the outside, beat them to the corner, stretch it to the sideline, come back, maybe pass a little bit. You got to change it up a little bit. That's a solid defensive front right there, and they're handling the inside right now for the Bulldogs. And they got a lot of guys in the box. You got 6 guys almost on, or 5 guys down on the line. Got to reverse.
Oh, wow, they decide to reverse that play, and it's for positive yards down to the 41-yard line, so it's a 4-yard pickup. But now, obviously, Delsea with time's a waste and under 2 minutes till halftime, they're going to go up tempo here.
Staying in that double wing.
All right, we'll see who gets this ball. Wait a minute. Flags are down. And the question is, who jumped this time? The referee waiting for the linesman to signal who done it. And again, it's against Glassboro for neutral zone infraction. That's like the 3rd or 4th one of the half.
Yeah, and it's helping the Knights out.
Matter of timing, just being still a little bit jumpy. And if they just wait just a split second longer, then they time it almost perfectly.
Yeah, you're seeing that the Bulldogs have a little bit more of a confident offense right now.
Well, they give it to Early, but this 46, it's going to be like about 3rd and a yard, and maybe 2 yards on the play. When you got the clock, 1:05 and counting. Now they break huddle real quick. On 3rd and 2. And let's see. And I think we just found out this is one of them.
We're off right now. That's a shame.
Yeah, I don't know why that's the case. Hey guys, we do apologize. Grief, serious connection of the day here in Franklin. We definitely apologize. So
How much time we got with you? I can make it work.